greet Ed, Rich, Crow, and Pete as they talk Evercade. Good times will never fade. Put away the switchblade, sheath the sword of Vienna. Stop the blaster master, there's no enemy below as we dip into euphoria. Turn on, tune in, and do it fast. It's time for the Evercast.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Evercade podcast. It's me, Ed. Got Pete and Crow, maybe Gandalf will show up. What's up, everyone?
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, I've got.
How's everybody doing? There's all kinds of like little symbols on stuff going on in chat. Is like YouTube introduced something new? So it's like a number beside you.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's like number 1, number 2, number 3.
Yes, yeah. You're top.
I think they're ranking stuff. I guess like ranking your stuff.
Well, if I click on it, it says top fans. So Pete, you're the number 1 fan.
Yeah, I guess because I was here first.
Yep. Oh man,
you can do it. Keep showing support. Make it to the top 50.
Do I get a prize?
I'm glad the Switch 2 hype is starting to die down. Kind of getting sick of seeing that.
It's never going to die down. Where are you seeing it? You shouldn't be seeing it if you're not actively looking at it for YouTube.
Pretty much. Well, let's just say there's like a lot of YouTubers who have it, and again, people can play what they want to play. I talked about last night. I just like when you sometimes see like the trophy collectors, they have like a big collection, and you're like, do you actually play those games, or do you just have you all know who I'm talking about. I won't name people specifically, some of the bigger ones and whatnot. But yeah, everybody was just like talking about it, like really. The only video that I was interested in was like ones like on backwards compatibility and stuff like that.
I mean, it all depends, right? Like, there's not very many new consoles launched anymore, so I guess that's why it's a big. A lot of people playing it, including myself. But it's really good. It's definitely the hype is not going to die down, though. I don't think anytime soon, but. That's what happens. Whenever Xbox puts out their Xbox Alley X, they'll take over everything too, right? So that's when I sell my Series X when that comes out. I don't think I've turned on my Series X in like 3 months. Yeah. Thank God I got no games for it. I only use it for Game Pass. And then I canceled my Game Pass. So I don't even have that anymore. Well, I got like 3 weeks of Game Pass left.
Well, let's see.
It's my new goal. If I don't play the system, it goes bye-bye.
Yeah, no, I hear
that's what I'm doing.
Oh yeah, if I don't play it, I don't need it.
Right.
My PlayStation 5 I play because of my game, but my wife plays it, so that's safe.
There you go. All right. Say good morning or afternoon to some folks. What do we got? We got Gene, we got Dan Ruff, we got Morley. Interesting topic, Joe Whitlash to pause about the Polymega. That's cool, though, that you actually got one. Matthew Madison, Fan of Fiction, Immortal Sojourn, the Coffee Boy. Ed is giving XP. Oh, for the level. Oh, I was like, competing for the crown. Happy Father's Day. That's tomorrow, but thank you, Ballistic Coffee Boy. Wow, it's like, no, sorry, the stupid thing shot down. What's like? Yeah, I got some people in the chat. Oh, that's kind of cool from an Atari fan's perspective. Neat. So, all right. So I want to jump into a few things. I want to jump into polls because it's gonna have to do.
It's going on a rant, so we'll just sit back and chat with chat.
So for those of you who don't know, last night, I was streaming. I don't know what the hell I ate. I had to like step away and go to the bathroom and come back a few times. And so I was looking at my phone.
Did you have some bad tacos?
No, I don't know if it was like you had some Panera at work or something. I don't know.
Jesus, bro, what is wrong with you? Where is the I have the diarrhea? You're
yeah, true.
Hey, weren't you watching before the show? None of this stuff is working.
That is the perfect.
See, nothing is working.
Diarrhea.
I told you. I have to figure out why it's not working.
So good. We have Gandalf backstage.
Fail.
So he's
Sorry,
getting
go ahead, Ed.
let's go over this. And actually, 142 votes. This might be the highest one
Wait,
yet.
wait, you got to give us the backstory. What? Why did you put this poll up?
So this, well, because I put this because of the increasing cost of like Evercade and stuff, and
Okay.
this leads. This is before I got the email from because there was a point in time where you could get like 2 Evercade cards for like $35 USD through Video Games Plus, and it's one of those things that from the beginning Blaze has always said, yeah, for 20 quid you can get a cart, you have a cool that's been Evercade's main selling point is the price. You have this cool physical media, you get all these cool things and all that, and yeah, and it's just a shame. I don't know. I kind of feel betrayed that Video Games Plus about it. That could be a whole other thing. It sucks because they were like the best source to go through. Although somebody did say that they were honoring some orders, so maybe they're coming back. But even with the price increases, they kind of balanced it out.
I talked to Video Games Plus just to interject about that, and I canceled my orders there. And they said they would ship out orders that was pre-ordered to Canadians, but they wouldn't do any more with them. And so that was good. So I didn't cancel it then. So at least if you're Canadian, you order for Video Games Plus, you won't get any new things, but you'll get the existing ones.
Yeah. So, but yeah, then I got a lovely, well, I was, dropping the kids off the pool in the bathroom. I'm looking at things on an email from Song, and I'll get, and it's not even the money and cost. It's just the way they worded it. And it's just like the principle behind it. But so we'll kind of get to it. So anyways, I said my polls are back with increased costs of Evercade. Are you still buying carts? Buying all the carts, sorry. Because I want to know, because I got a lot of comments too. People are like, I'm being very selective. And I understand. People were kind of saying that before. I know for a little while people were being more selective, but it's gone even further. So I'm like, okay, I wanted to see, are people still buying all the carts? Are you being selective? What's interesting, only 8% said I live a part in the world that doesn't affect me. I really thought that would have been higher. And then here's what's kind of funny. I wasn't buying all the carts before the price increase, which is higher, so 31%. So, yeah, definitely this will affect the way people's spending habits.
Yeah, I don't think most people were buying all the carts to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the other part of the beauty of Evercade, being able to not have to buy all of them.
Oh shit, Rich is there. Hey, Rich.
Hello.
Yeah. I was saying Gandalf was backstage.
Oh, I wasn't listening.
I'm gonna check to see if I voted in this poll.
Yeah. So no, and that's why I've kind of made it clear to people, like, if I didn't have a YouTube channel, if I wasn't like, if Evercade didn't kind of view my hobby and want the experience, yes, I would kind of be in the same bucket. So I was like, really, unless you're a crazy person like myself, I don't know why everyone would want to buy all the carts unless you just kind of want to experience it.
We need to get Ed a new Evercade to look at, like a new thing, and then we could see Ed transform into total heel, and we'll just watch his video. That would be awesome.
You want to, why people buy all the carts? I just to say you have all the carts. You don't have to play them all.
Yeah, it's a big humble brag.
That's weird to me. That to me, that's like collecting sealed games. Like, I just don't. It's a rat, yeah. So now, okay, so now they've kind of gone to that. So now I want to share and put the link from Songbird and yes, this I don't know, this might be the crap. So they said, just this week, we got confirmation, new distributor, blah, blah, blah. We have very limited quantities, including Windjammer, Gremlin 2, Super Pockets. We don't know when we'll get more back in stock quickly after it runs out, so be sure to place your order. And as you know, prices have gone up in Evercade merchandise. This includes higher prices in the wholesale level 2. The new price scheme should be stable now, really. And so then, okay, fine. But then it's like, wait, what the hell is this payment due? Okay. Then they say, as many of you know, prices have gone up. Yes, they're repeating themselves. And they say, therefore, if you placed a pre-order before June 1st, additional payment is due. I'm like, really? So what really miffed me, because I have my next cards ordered, that they actually have the nerve that they're going to do a clawback, and they want you to go here through PayPal and pay an extra $5. And then what did they say? They will incur some of the costs, so they'll pay the $2. And this just really infuriated me. The fact that they act yes, I understand the cost of come, but it puts like such a sour taste in your mouth. I swear to God, I almost wanted to go on, cancel both my orders, and go to Castlemania Games and buy it like out of spite. But maybe I'll just pay their $5 ransom. I mean, this was like, who does that, right? That's just like like Blaze wouldn't even do something like that.
The tariffs do that. That's what like
I'll-
because the retailer is under no obligation to pay like incoming duty on tariff goods. Like and it'll literally happen everywhere.
Yeah.
Because
They're
what'll
just
happen
passing
is
it along.
as things are coming in, you'll just see that prices will just go up in retail, in like brick and mortar retail. You just walk in and the prices will just be $5 higher.
So here's the analogy that I'm going to use, because it's like they can't control the tariffs, they can control customer service, right? So imagine if, let's say, you went to your local retro store and you bought a game. Let's say it was like $10, and we know like retro prices change all the time. And let's say now that cart that you bought goes up in $5 in value, and you come back next week and you want to buy something else. You're like, oh, hey, well, before you buy this, you got to give us $5 because that cart went up in price. I mean, dude, we already had the orders locked in, and I'm sure there's a lot of people buying the next set. So this clawback infuriated me. I was just like, wow, they're trying to squeeze more blood from a stone. And
my
I've already
opinion on that is they should honor the price they sold it at, in my opinion, and not charge you on those. But if they choose on new products to come in and raise the price, you shouldn't complain. But it's for the stuff you paid for, you shouldn't pay for it. It's like I always say, a video game store where this is what I hate, and I do a lot of retro gaming, is when I go to the counter and the price says $29, and I get to the counter, they grab it and it goes, actually it's $35. I just put it back on the shelf. I won't buy it. So that equates to what you're talking about here. So they 100% should honor it. Like even Video Games Plus didn't send us an email saying, hey, price is going to go up, even though Canada's really not impacted by the tariffs. Because the English company, but they wouldn't do that. I don't think the VGP would do it. But so I don't like what Songbird did here. Regardless of tariffs or not, they took your money. They should honor it. So because that happens in business all the time. If you've already locked in your prices with your supplier, if the prices change but the customer's already paid for it, you got to eat that, or at risk of losing the customer. So that's the big thing, right? Do they want to risk losing a customer? Like you just said, you go to Castlemania Games. So they pretty much have lost a customer forever, even if you pay this $5, I would think.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
exactly. That's where I see, like, they took your money, they need to honor it. That's just good customer service, in my opinion. That's all I'm saying on that. Yeah. I wouldn't. Now, if they raise their price after that, then you have a choice as a consumer to go and buy the new price, and that's your choice. But it's transparent. Right now, it feels a little. I don't know. I only met the Songbird people once or twice at a show. I just think they're trying to make. They probably shouldn't be doing this, in my opinion.
Yeah. I just felt like this is a slap in the face, because I was like, hey, I locked in my pre-order, with you all, and now they come back.
Especially if you paid for it, right? That's
that's the thing. They took my money.
It wasn't money. If they didn't take your money, then you still have a choice, right? But they took your money, so they should honor it. Yeah, that's all I got to say on that. I think.
Yeah. And that's kind of the thing. It's not like
I would just cancel it and go to Castlemania, to be honest with you, because Castlemania seems like they're being really proactive, and they want the Evercade business to the point where they're opening up a Canadian distribution warehouse. Yeah. So they're going to get and I've met them before, so I'm going to get they're going to get my business. So.
Yeah, and actually, Castlemania, Castlemania Ryan, like, he comes into my live streams and he said he's been
And this has nothing to do with Blaze. Blaze is like they can't control this. They can't control what happens, right? They can only say, hey, this is the new price based on their tariffs. Like what? They don't even set the tariffs. They said, we're shipping you at this price.
Right.
The tariffs are nothing to do with them. If they raise their price, that's on them. And I would, like they already said, they were going to raise the price. So I think Blaze has probably been very transparent about their pricing. Like letting people know from day one. But the tariffs is not controllable, right? When they're on and off again, it's like I feel for businesses for sure.
Yeah.
And so what else I found interesting too, when Blaze said the prices were supposed to be $29.95, and I did see both Songbird and Castlevania, like, they charged $3 on top of that. And what also miffed me is that, like, Songbird charges $8 for shipping, and damn well that it doesn't cost that. Like
They're
it's
charging money on top of the MSRP.
yeah. Remember because
Well,
So
Blaze
that means they're not an official distributor then, because official distributors are not allowed to do that.
it's $32.95. It's supposed to be $29.95.
Yeah,
How about
you're
that?
not allowed, like MSRP. You're not allowed to do that. Like I deal in hockey cards a lot, so I only go to Upper Deck authorized dealers who are iCards because they can't charge over the MSRP or they lose their distribution rates. But if you go to, you can tell the ones that don't have it, they go $5 over if it's a box, or $10 over, or $30 over a case. Yeah, so that's kind of not cool either that they're doing that. So that tells me they're not an official distributor, probably.
I think what I'm going to do, and because I didn't use my Evercade effect, I think what I'm going to do is write them an email.
Oh, Phantom's got a good point though. Maybe it's the extra charge for credit card use. Probably they're doing that. That's the covering of that. Maybe.
But
That's
why
not my-
would? Well, yeah. Why would that have anything to do with it?
Some
Yeah,
businesses do that though.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's interesting though, because that's I mean even at 3%, that's still,
That's not that. That's like 30 cents, right?
yeah
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
It's not $3.
Yeah.
But
It's
I mean,
too
but
early for
as
me to
I'm
do math.
as I'm waking up, and
Wait. Well, how are you waking up? It's 11 o'clock for you.
well, it is. But I've been busy. I've been doing all sorts of crazy stuff. I've been in like this fog for like the past couple days. It's been a wild week. Just anyway. But as I'm like reading this, it's definitely like I am now getting the why is this not sounding cool thing, because none of this makes any sense.
Yeah.
It's just like what? Okay.
Yeah, they already took my money. I think we're just parting. I think what I'm going to do is just write them an email, and basically just
Maybe they
I'm not
ask for an
I'll
explanation.
almost honest and be like, I'm very disappointed that you treat your customers like. No, I'm going to tell them. I'm going to say like, dude, either just send me the carts as is, or cancel this order, cancel my other one, and get my money back. And by the way, I'm going to go ahead and tell everybody to cancel their freaking orders with you because this is stupid.
I guess.
Wait, what are they covering?
MSRP, the S stands for suggested, so I guess they got wiggle room.
Yeah, no, that's what Castlemania is charged. And you know what though? I know with Castlemania they also will charge tax. And here's the thing: spite motivates me more than anything. If it costs me more money to get it through Castlemania games with it, I feel like I'll cancel this and go do that.
Oh,
because like
no wonder I wasn't hearing anything about this, because I ordered after June 1st, so I paid those prices already.
yeah, and they kind of like slipped it in, and they sent it to my. And here's the other thing too, which again another minor nitpick, but I'm going to do it. I changed to a different email address to make it easier to track this, and they sent it to my a different one, and I could have missed this. So I don't know, maybe being dramatic, but I was just like, come on, dude. After I've given you money, now you're going to do a clawback. People buying now, fine, but
Yeah. Well, so you know what that means for me though. Like as the guy that's like I'm the fun stock guy. I'm just gonna keep ordering from fun stock.
You weren't going to not order from there anyway.
I know, but it's like this confuses me even more. I'm like I don't even know like because I mean I didn't know anything about this because I guess I didn't pre-order anything, so I wouldn't have gotten this email. But
don't you know who I am?
But it seems wild because if I'm doing the head math on it, right? So $33 per cart, that's $66 for two for a bundle plus shipping. You said?
Yeah, plus $8 shipping when those carts are light. They don't cost.
So that's $74.
Yeah. Yeah, around
and then
72.
a bundle at Fun Stock with a tchotchke is $80.
Yeah, and then you have to
$80. It's $84. So I'll just order from
10%.
Fun Stock.
Well,
Yeah.
Just to
I'd
get
pay
my
more, but I'd pay more not to get the Peggy logo on those boxes.
That's true. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So that's the only thing that's keeping you from.
Yeah.
You should just go. You should just you should just set yourself free.
Well, I am free. I'm free of the Peggy logo.
Well, it's just more than having to pay the tariff tax on top of that, and then you have to like. They made that. See, that's kind of been my. See, here's the thing. That's kind of been my annoyance from the beginning with Blaze is that it's like difficult to figure out where the hell to order their products from, right? Like I can kind of remember 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But here's another thing that and why I do like Blaze, and I honestly feel that Blaze does have some responsibility for with the prices going up. And actually, but and I do want to, and I read this last night. I don't know Crypto Coffee if he's in the room, but he kind of made the best comment, and actually kind of sums up how I kind of feel about Blaze. Like I said, why they could take some they can't control the tariffs, but here I'll share with you guys. If they kind of were better off, they may have been able to absorb some of this cost. And I think he makes some good points, and you guys can let me know if you agree or tear this to pieces. But yeah, let me just like read this. He said the prices of the carts went up prior. The prices. God, I can't read. The prices of carts went up prior to the latest tariffs. Unfortunately, Blaze has been slow to build their company big enough in the 5+ years they've been around. For timing, all this sucks for them. However, they're also partially to blame, in my opinion. They've had plenty of time to grow, get better, find ways to increase revenue. They have not done well enough. An admirable job for sure, but given the challenges from the current lockdowns, they were and will continue to have constant delay, quality control issues, logistic issues, lack of stock. They failed to capitalize on merch sales by not offering more products, replenishing the ones they did have, and of course, inventory. I also think they have not done a great job advertising, at least in the U.S. Even with all this going on, I'm so optimistic they will last. Modern gaming is more expensive than Evercade. There are still more retro gamers out there in the market that have no idea Evercade exists. Whatever new products and carts they have later on could really make or break them. I know that's kind of a lot, but yeah, that's so. The reason I say that is I know some people think I've been being nitpicky, but like all the stuff over the 5 years that I've been talking about, the delays, them kind of like indulging and like really promoting niche things within the UK. Finally, they're branching out to arcade. Like all this stuff adds up, and that's why I kind of say that like, they've kind of had 5 years to become a bigger company. But I'll just say it, Blaze, they run their business like I run my YouTube channel. I go on when I want, I say what I want, I do whatever I want, and that's kind of like that's always been a weird way to run a business. I mean, I love those guys, but yeah, they kind of have had 5 years to maybe get a little bit bigger and figure this out. I don't know. So.
Well, especially in the U.S., the way they always release stuff and do things, it's always seems like UK or Europe Central.
It's what they know, right?
Yeah,
it's
exactly. It's like, oh, this is the most popular stuff, even though over here it's really niche. You know?
They need a North American presence in creative. They just do. That's just and I'm in software development. The U.S. market's the market you want. Like, my game is 80% of all people playing my game across all platforms is in the US. So guess what? They get our best servers. They get more servers. They get everything. And sure, we love our players all over the world, but you've got to actually look at who's paying your bills too, right? Like, so that's why I always question is the U.S. a big market to them? Are they even interested in growing it? I've asked that for 5 years now. It's like, because it feels like they're quite content, and more power to them. I actually am not their target market because I've played all the North American games to death. I want to play all the stuff they're putting out because it's weird and interesting to me. Yeah. And but I'm not the market they should be going after if they're going after the US market.
The funny thing I was thinking of is, remember the last update, they made a big deal how like you could now select Japanese as a language. But it made me think, wait a minute, there's no American English language option. So
yeah.
So everything is like European, like English,
the King's English.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, now it makes sense.
All those words have the extra U's in them. They have S's instead of Z's.
Hey, you're now in my territory. The U's are
that would be Canadian English,
and the Z's are important. So let's not have that debate. I think we had that debate like many years ago. The importance of the U and the Z.
No, I don't remember that. No,
but I mean, it's like I think if Polymega could magically shift and have like their full like console, or like a console with like that could just play CD games, come out for under like $200 with the price increase. Like, I don't know. Like, I could see myself like shifting over to something like that because we're getting
Polymega is awesome, and now that they got the might of Atari,
it's
there. Nobody knows Polymega better than I do. Like, nobody knows Polymega better than I do. Rich has taken the mantle from me the last couple of years, but Rich and them used to joke at me that I was still waiting for my Polymega like 3-4 years. Like,
yeah, well, I was in the same line as you, so and only I was in a longer line.
And
I was only joking because I was like, I didn't want to cry because as soon as you got yours, I was like, oh, it's gonna be another 3 years for mine.
if the Polymega could get their price down to under $200 for their console, I would say in a lot of ways it would almost be over for a lot of little like companies.
Yes.
Like, because it's like
Yeah.
it does everything I want. Listen here,
Yeah.
I have 2 things on my desk right now. You guys want to see it? This is what I play mostly. What's on my desk? An Evercade? What's that?
That's the Polymega you basically.
Polymega? Oh yeah, and Ian Obbies will be happy because I'm playing around.
You got your Playdate. Nice.
Yeah. So and there you can see all my other consoles, but still.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the Polymega.
Yeah, man.
I play it a lot because that's my games are on there. Sure, they're ROMs, but they're ROMs of my games that I installed on there.
Yep.
Yeah. And the Polymega's collections are really nice collections. Their collections are nice. They have booklets, they have collector's pins, they have, there's a lot of cool stuff. Yeah, Ian will be happy that I don't want to buy season 2 because it's too expensive. It's $32. I can buy a Switch 2 game for that.
Yeah, not to turn this into the Polymega cast though, but the last
we should do one, Rich.
Right. The last collections that they released, the 2 new Atari collections, are pretty sweet.
I don't have one.
Lie. It's pretty good.
Tariffs scare me.
Yeah. Yeah, because you got to. Well, because this is American, right? Coming up. But yeah.
We should talk about the survey.
Oh yes, yeah. So
yes.
And that's another thing I was going to say. And somebody correct me. I think this is the first time in 5 years they've actually sent out and asked people, like in a survey, not like on Discord hidden somewhere, not on Facebook. I think this is the first time they actually put out a survey. I could be wrong, but yeah, let's talk about that. Which I would bring that up on the screen, but you have to fill it out as you go along. Like, really? Did you all fill it out?
I'm actually going to do a video.
I did fill mine out, and digital games are coming at Evercade.
I don't remember the survey. I feel like I took it, and I don't remember it at all.
It's in whatchamacallit. It's in the link for it is in the Discord announcements for Evercade.
Yeah.
It's a post by Pete Davidson.
I'm not sure. Like, didn't you feel that like some of the survey was kind of like geared towards people who've never heard of Evercade, and some of it was geared towards us? It was kind of weird.
Yeah,
felt that way.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm waiting to do mine until directly after this because I'm gonna actually do the thing where I do the survey with everybody watching.
Oh no, dude! 100%. It would be a mistake. I think if they did go digital, I think I'd be like, yeah, I would have to be out.
There was quite a few digital questions. I think it was like four digital questions.
Yeah.
But
I think the only problem with that though is like where do you put it?
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I just thought
they'd have to put in another unit that has built-in memory.
I think what they're trying to do is just gauge the people that fill it out, whether it's any interest or not. Like I think.
Yeah.
That's all they're doing. It's just sometimes there's just throwaway questions too. Yeah, I thought it was cool. It was longer than I thought.
Yes.
Man, more and more.
I want any modern consoles. What type of games? If you like the niche games, if you like arcade, and
yeah, mine centered around like they asked what type of carts you want, like established, like stuff, like why do you stuff nostalgia stuff of that, and yeah. It was just I thought it was really cool they did it. Oh, Ian, just for you, buddy.
The Playdate. Gross Batman.
Ian keeps asking. So yes, Ian, I'm thinking about it. I'm hoping it goes on sale season 2. So.
But yeah, for me though, for Evercade, that's just been the main thing on my mind is the prices. How can I get it? It's a shame we don't have like the latest carts now. Like they took a month too long to kind of get all that like situated and.
Yeah. Anybody have the survey, or everybody did?
I'm looking at it now, and
it's you can walk through the questions, and I thought it would be a cool exercise to walk through the questions.
Yeah, I guess we could do that.
Yeah, Crow, you do it.
Okay, let me go back a page.
Yeah,
make sure. How old are you? It's question number 1.
75.
Make sure I what?
No, I was gonna say if you share your screen, make sure it's an email address that you don't care that other people.
Oh, I'm not sharing the screen. I don't know. How do you identify? Okay, that's not the first question.
Yeah,
What
they
region of the world are you from? Okay, well, that's not.
America.
What country are you from? Okay, what social platforms do you use? Okay, none of those questions are very interesting. Roughly, how many hours of video games do you play a week? Your options are 0 to 4, 5 to 9, 10 to 14, 15 to 20, or 20 plus.
I'd say 20 plus for me because of work. So
I'd say 20 plus, but they said video games and just not games in general, so I got to lower that a lot.
Yeah.
wait, I
How
see
many
what
ga-
you're doing on Steam.
How many? Well, I'm talking about. They didn't say anything about pinball. You know.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, video games.
How many games do you normally purchase in a typical year? It says purchase. It doesn't say play. You know. So
Yeah. I kind of picked like the lowest, like all that stuff. I picked I picked what direction I think they should go. Yeah.
I just picked 15 plus just because I know that I probably buy more than one game a month.
Well, that's all the Evercade cards.
Yeah, exactly. If you're buying all the Evercade carts, then you're just automatically in the 10 to 14 or 15 plus category.
Yeah.
How do you define retro gaming? This is the one I was sitting at because it was like, none of these options are how I define retro gaming. Because your options are games released on previous hardware generations, games I grew up with, games from the noughts or earlier, games from the 90s or earlier, games from the 80s or earlier, pixel-based 8 to 16-bit graphic styles, arcade machines, or early 3D era games. Arcade machines. There's fairly recent arcade machines.
So I'll tell you what I picked for that. I definitely didn't pick the games I didn't say the games that I grew up with because I didn't want them to feel justified for the blue carts. I picked arcade machines and I picked like pre-90s because that's
why arcade machines though? Because they're still releasing. They're still arcade machines.
Well, of course, but I was like arcade. That's yeah.
I define it as any game that was released before I was born, which might be like one game.
Yeah, that's a whole other. But yeah,
so I want to see. I want to see if I can get past this page without selecting anything.
No, you have to select it. That's what's kind of dumb.
I can't finish the survey then because if they're going to make me select, I can't select an option if it's not true. That'd be lying.
Then you're stuck.
Which modern retro gaming systems do you own? So you got analog devices, arcade one-up cabinets, At Games Legends Arcade, At Games Legends Pinball, Evercade Alpha, Evercade EXP, why are Evercade EXP and Evercade EXP are different choices? It's the same thing.
They only listed like the dash R's. They didn't list them separately, unless I missed that. But,
no, they did list them separate. At least two separate options. Evercade EXP as one option, and then the next option is Evercade EXP-R.
Oh, okay, so they did.
And then you got Evercade Handheld Original, Evercade VS, and then Evercade VSR.
Maybe they changed
Hypermega Tech Super Pocket. So if they separated out the VS and the VSR, why didn't they separate all the individual Super Pockets? All that's in one category. My arcade devices, non-licensed emulation devices, replica home computers, replica arcade cabinets.
But I thought that was weird.
Other. Okay, well.
I wrote in other. I put the mod retrochromatic. Yeah,
I say other, and I'll put yes.
I put other, and I put Polymega in that one, I think.
Yeah.
So why was there an other option there? But with retro gaming question, there is no other option where you could fill in the blank.
I don't
know. Because nobody defines retro the same. Like everybody's got their own separate definition for it. There's no way you can list them all out.
Yeah. Such a loaded question.
Yeah.
It's older games.
Which currently available modern gaming platforms do you own? Pick all that apply. Gaming PC, Microsoft Xbox Series X/S.
Yeah.
Nintendo Switch. Oh, that's outdated now. Nintendo Switch 2.
That's retro.
Well, yeah, according to some people, that would be retro.
I love pissing off people when I'm saying PS4 is retro also, you know.
Nintendo Switch 2, Sony PlayStation 5. So I guess PlayStation 4 isn't modern anymore.
No, it's
Wow.
Smartphone. I don't know if anybody has ever said like, oh, the smartphone is a modern gaming platform?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't play games on phones.
So that would mean that my very first Android phone is still considered a modern gaming device.
Sure.
Yeah.
If it's still smart.
Yes, I play Balatro on it.
Steam Deck or other handheld gaming PC.
Yeah.
No.
If you own any modern gaming devices, see this is all that apply with this one with the modern gaming platforms. If you don't own any of them, you have to be able to proceed without selecting any of them.
Yeah, there's
Didn't they
only
have
some
other
mandatory, right?
Yeah.
If you own any modern gaming devices, do you play retro games on them? Yes, no, I don't own a modern gaming device.
Yep.
Yeah, they want to know, like, are you buying like the physical Switch carts and digital things on Steam? And yeah.
From this list, please choose the 3 gaming platforms you use the most, and it's pretty much the same list as which modern retro gaming systems you own. So let me say, I'll just pick a couple of them.
I was like,
that
yes,
one,
Steam Deck, Game Boy Chromatic,
and that one. Perfect. Okay, next. Oh, come on! It's gonna make me select define the retro gaming thing.
Yeah,
I'll just select all that apply. I'll just confuse them and select every single option.
There you go. Yeah, let's do that.
You're not doing the survey right.
Well, they didn't make the survey right.
Well, that's not.
They should have put it in, but maybe they wanted a specific response. I don't know.
Why do you play retro games? Oh boy, this is going to be good. Select all that apply. I really enjoy playing the games I loved as a child. It makes me feel good. I appreciate the game design of the retro games I choose to play. I am interested in playing older games that were groundbreaking for their time. They are good value for money. I know what I'm getting. I want to play games that I was unable to play when they were originally released. I hear people talking about certain older games, and I'm curious what they are like.
My answer was the one before that.
We can select all of them that apply, so you're not limited to just one. I hear people talking about certain older games, and I'm curious what they're like. I want to share the positive experiences I had playing certain games with my family. I want to share the positive experiences I had playing certain games with my friends. But there's no option for playing those games with your enemies. I like the aesthetics of retro games. I might just choose that one.
I think that's what I picked. There wasn't a suck option. So.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't really know why. To me, they're just games I've always used to play. I don't consider them retro.
I probably should have picked the games I remember with my friends because, again, I don't want to feed into their blue card. I'm pretty sure that's why they're asking that because they want, like, anyways, go ahead.
Oh, I like how I have to use my imagination more when I play retro games.
That is stupid. I thought was beyond. Like, really? Like, come on.
It's not like I'm reading a book.
Yeah. Like, what is this?
I like the simplicity of retro games compared to modern games. I just enjoy playing good video games regardless of when they were released.
Good answer too.
It's actually pretty good. Yeah. I guess that's a good answer. It's probably better than the other one. I am really interested in the technology used to emulate and play retro games on new systems. They are good to play for short periods of time. I like to collect retro games. And other, I'll put, why is the sky blue?
I love that. It almost kind of seemed like ChatGPT like spit out these questions. Like it seemed yeah.
But I don't understand how this will help decide what games they're gonna put in collections. Okay, next question. Would you describe yourself as a collector of vintage games, where vintage is used to describe the original media used on classic platforms, cartridges, floppy disks, cassettes, DVDs, etc.? I'll say yes, even though I sold most of it. If you answered yes to the previous question, When was the last time you bought a vintage game? Within the last week, within the last month, within the last 3 months, within the last 6 months, within the last year, over a year ago. I think that's within the last year for me, at least. When was the last time you purchased a retro game released physically? And that's the same options, time periods.
Yeah.
See, again, that's not really going to give them the answer because everybody's got a different definition of what a retro game is. It's like, so somebody bought a PS4 game yesterday and they're like, oh, I bought a PS4 game. That's retro. Because now there's a PS5, you know, even though they're probably playing that PS4 game on their PS5, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting.
I'll say I've never purchased one. When was the last time you purchased a retro game released digitally? I've never purchased one.
I might have said that too because I didn't. Yeah, I might have said that.
I've never purchased
I didn't
one.
want to give them to justify.
Well, according to me, a retro game is any game that was made after it was born, after I was born.
So I asked ChatGPT, and a retro game is generally defined as a video game from a previous generation of gaming hardware or software that is considered outdated by current standards, yet still appreciated for its nostalgic value, gameplay style, or historical significance. Key characteristics of retro games: age, usually games that are at least 15 to 20 years old. Platforms, often associated with older systems like NES, SNES, Genesis. Graphics and sound tend to use pixel art. Yeah, so yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
ChatGPT answered it, so that is law.
I see. Yeah. So we're gonna let AI decide our future.
Of course, we already have.
Nice.
All right. Let's see here. Next question. Do you use
Evercade
any of the
counts as
following digital subscription services to play retro games? So we got Amazon Luna, which I didn't know was a thing, Andstream Arcade, Apple Arcade, Nintendo Switch Online, PlayStation Plus Extra, Game Pass, Xbox Game Pass, and me, none of the above. And that is totally truthful. I mean, I have used Andstream, but I don't use it regularly.
I love
at all.
Andstream, but I don't have a subscription to it. I use the free version.
Oh yeah, I never used it. If I had more time and if I was on Andstream a lot, I would definitely subscribe to it because I do like it.
Yeah, the free version's pretty good, man. Like, it's on the VCS. You got for first year of the VCS, you got the full subscription to Andstream, and then it turned off to the free version. So.
Have you ever purchased an officially licensed retro gaming device or mini console? Well,
Oh, for God, yes.
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 How would you describe your relationship? I didn't realize I had a relationship with retro games. You know,
Look behind you.
It's
Obviously, it ended in divorce for you now.
It's gotta be a toxic relationship.
Divorcing now, but I just like give you a warning. I gotta leave soon because I told the boys earlier I've got the Vancouver Retro Game Expo, so getting prepped for that. Gonna go see John Hancock today. He's up, so
okay,
it'll be fun. Yeah,
that's cool.
All right,
he comes every year.
I actually saw him at the Pinball Expo. He had a booth there.
Yeah, he comes to the Retro Expo and does a panel every year. I won a sealed game from him like 4 years ago. College football's on the SNES.
Okay, how would you describe your relationship with retro games? They are the games I play the most. I have a favorite retro game I play all the time, and I don't really play any others.
Yeah.
I only play retro games I played in my childhood. I only play retro games that are 8-bit. Same question, 16-bit. Same question, 32-bit.
That's a weird question, but I think it's guided because if they get everybody coming back with 32-bit, guess what we're going to get? It's Ed's favorite 32-bit collection.
Well, here's the thing. It's like, what if you only play in television? You have to select 16-bit, and they're not going to get the wrong message from that.
Oh, shit. I got to go.
Okay. See you, Pete.
Just let everyone, thanks everybody for watching my Switch 2 content. Thanks everybody. Channel members, I'm going to have a bunch of shorts on the Retro Expo coming to you guys, hopefully today. Bye, everyone.
All right.
See you guys. Sorry, I have to
See
leave.
ya.
See ya.
Bye.
All right. I like to play physical versions of retro games so I can collect them. I play retro games when I am on the go. I play retro games at home. I like to play retro games I wasn't able to play when they were first released, but I really wanted to. I like to play retro games in short bursts. There's just no one for long bursts. I like to replay retro games I couldn't beat back in the day to see if I can now. I am interested in playing retro games that I've heard are great, even if they weren't released in my own lifetime. I like to discover and play retro games I haven't heard of previously, and then other fill in the blank. Okay. I just selected the one where it's like I'm interested in playing retro games that I heard are great, even if they weren't released in my own lifetime.
Yeah.
What are the low points of retro gaming today? Select all that apply. Flimsy hardware that breaks easily.
Mhm.
Well, that's only if you buy that stuff.
Yeah.
Poor emulation. I'll say that one. I've seen plenty of that.
Yep.
Substandard sound effects. Well, that's poor emulation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
My favorite game is not available. What does that
That
mean?
doesn't make any sense.
Well, that just means
Awkward.
that
Okay, go
there's a
ahead.
game that you want to play, but you can't find it anywhere because licensing is terrible.
But if you think about it, if it's your favorite game, you already have it.
Well, I mean, it's your favorite game from back in the day. So, like, for example, I would love to play Vey again. It's it's not maybe one of my favorite games, but it's like an awesome game. But go and find a copy of Vey right now. It's like $300. I don't want that. I want to be able to play it.
I kind of feel like if you want to play your favorite game, though, you're just going to download the ROM file and play it. Like if you really want
Yeah,
to play
well,
it.
I mean, there's that. But
Yeah.
if you're trying to do, I'm imagining they're trying to be like, I'm trying to play my games legally.
That's what I assume that they mean.
Yeah.
Like you're looking for somebody that's actually selling the game legally.
Yeah. Yeah, like you can't find like Vey is a perfect example. You can't find that game anywhere.
It's funny you mentioned that because I remember seeing that on a shelf in the store like a decade ago.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like outside of buying it in a retro store for however much they're charging for it, you can't get a digital copy of that game anywhere.
Okay, here's something I don't understand. The next one is awkward handling. So that would be a low point of retro gaming today. Awkward handling. What does that mean?
Yeah, I know.
Awkward handling.
Downloading games.
Yeah.
That is a low point. Having to use unofficial games when the games I want are unavailable. What?
But that must be like I have to go to a ROM site in order to play my game.
I guess, but that's a weird way to phrase it.
Definitely.
Uncertainty around quality. Uncertainty around reliability of retailers.
Yeah.
The expense. The limited selection of games. Technical issues making it hard to set up. Not having games that are lesser known today, but which were classics or groundbreaking in their time.
So that one I didn't check because my definition of what Blaze thinks is groundbreaking and what I think is groundbreaking is very different. Hence the computer collection.
Having games that are lesser known. Okay, well, I'm just gonna select the poor emulation one. When do you typically play retro games? Select all that apply.
That's the job of my life.
At the weekends, during weeknights, during my commute, during the day. No, I don't have a specific time set aside to play
Just
anything.
for retro games. Yeah.
Usually it's nights and weekends are the only time I'd have to play video games anyways.
And the only time I would not select, the only reason I wouldn't select during my commute is how am I supposed to play a game while I'm driving?
Yeah. On the toilet.
How do you usually find out about retro gaming news? Select all that apply. Favorite gaming influencers. Favorite retro-specific gaming influencers. Friends recommendations. mainstream gaming websites,
God no.
retrocentric gaming websites, and then they use time extension as an example. I've never
Yeah,
heard
I was
of
like,
time extension.
Yeah.
Really?
And I I didn't mention, but I just noticed this with the modern gaming websites. The examples they used were IGN, PC Gamer, and Eurogamer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess time extension really kind of is like the one that's left and around, really.
I'd never even heard of them.
I use time extension all the time.
They've done a few interviews with Blaze, and they put, yeah, that's why that was there.
Live streams, maybe. Commercial online showcases. Summer of Gaming, Future of Gaming show. Okay, yeah, maybe select that one. Wait, commercial online. Does that mean their own? Wait. Which
I don't
commercial
know.
online showcase? I'm not going to select that one because I've seen online showcases, but they weren't commercial.
Every kid wants to know horse.
Social media. Okay. Email update from retro gaming specialists / retailers. Gaming forums. Retrocentric gaming forums. Video content. Well, that's probably the only one I should probably choose. Retro gaming events or conventions. All right. Well, does that mean that only the gaming events are retro and the conventions can be for anything, or does the conventions have to be retro based?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's the most you're happy to pay for a digital download of a retro game? How come zero's not an option?
Yeah, I know.
I don't want to pay anything. Just give me the
I
game.
paid the price, yeah.
The first option is up to $10.
Yeah. It should be up to $5, but yeah.
I'm going to select that one because I guess that includes zero.
Yeah.
And then you got 11 to 15. And then you got breakouts all the way up to more than $50.
Good God. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't know. What's the most you're happy to pay for a physical version of a retro game? It's actually exactly the same dollar breakouts as the last question. I thought it might be more.
I picked the same thing, I think.
You know what? I'm going to go with that one. What are the most... But he also doesn't mention, like, okay, when you're talking about a physical version, it depends on what the bundle is, you know? Is it just a game, a manual, and a box, or is there more included with it?
Very big, yeah. I agree.
What are the most important features for a retro gaming system to have? Select all that apply. Durable quality. Well, I'd say that's important for anything. Hardware design that looks good. Yeah. A well-curated collection of retro games. Okay.
Yeah.
Use of physical media such as cartridges to play the games. Okay, well, because if it doesn't use physical media, you already have a device that can play everything digitally, one way or another.
Yes.
Ease of use / intuitive interface. I guess that's important. Comfortable to handle. It's only if it's a handheld.
Right?
I guess if you're getting a controller too, but even for using Evercade as an example, if I play mainly on the VS and I don't even use their controller, it doesn't even matter what they put out.
True.
Good emulation performance. Well, that is very important. Okay. Next question. Do you attend retro gaming conventions or markets? Okay, yes, why not?
Every day, 7 days a week.
Do you attend modern gaming or gaming related conventions? That's the same question, except what if it's modern and retro at the same time? That you just answer yes for both questions.
I guess. Yeah.
I've never heard of a modern, like, specifically separated out where, okay, this is modern only. You can't sell any retro games at all. You can't get it out of here. We're not including it. Only
True,
PS5s, no PS4s.
I thought that was a weird question. Yeah.
What era of retro gaming do you most connect with? Arcade era. Well, wait a minute. That's a what is arcade era? That could mean a lot of different things to people. That could be
Yeah, it can be like the
just
beginning.
only the early 80s. It could be the early 80s through the 90s, or it could just be all time because, hey, there are still arcades.
That's the one I picked. That's the one I want everyone to pick. Pick arcade era.
Oh, I can only select one of these.
Yeah.
26/Intellivision era. 8-bit console era. Well, you know what? The 2600 is that was still 8-bit, right?
Yeah, I think it's considered. Yeah.
I know the Intellivision is considered 16-bit, and that's the next one. 1980s home computers. Well, that just overlaps with arcade era and 2600 era. So how can I not select more than one?
I am having Pull Envy Phantom, yeah.
32-bit and 64-bit console era. DOS, PC/Amiga era. You know what they should have? Maybe they should have gone by years, decades.
That would have made more sense. Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll select arcade era.
Yeah, that's the one I picked. I'm like, no, yeah, that's the I picked that.
Oh, I know. All of the above.
There you go.
They let me write in an option for this, but not how do I define retro.
Right.
And then they forced me to select a pre-selected one. Before taking the survey, have you ever heard of the Evercade and or Super Pocket before? I thought the survey was only sent to people that have heard of those things.
Yeah. So
what would you be doing? I mean, this was on the Evercade Discord. So if you didn't know about Evercade, should I confuse them and say no? Would I be the only person to say no in the survey?
I know they posted that to like their other social medias, but yeah, I thought it was weird.
I'll just say yes. Do you own any of the Evercade or Mega Hypertech hardware systems? Yes. I want to see what the percentage of like the people that voted would be. Like how many no's are there going to be in this?
Do we think they're going to show the results, or are we never going to hear anything from this again?
I don't think we're ever going to hear anything from this again, to be honest.
Yeah, I wish they would show it.
If no, are you planning or considering on purchasing one? Well, I selected yes, but I can still select maybe. Have you seen Evercade or Super Pockets being covered by media or influencers you follow? Yes. Oh, no. We got a whole big giant grid of dots here. These are the features of the Evercade retro gaming system and of hardware and game cartridges. Please indicate how important you think each of these features are. And then every one of these has 5 options going between not important at all to essential. An award-winning range of hardware that lasts. Well, it's not important that it's award-winning.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, just hardware. Yeah.
A high quality durable console system for retro gaming on a TV. Well, that's pretty important. I'll say very important. A handheld gaming system with pixel perfect screen, ideal for retro gaming on the go. Quite important? I don't know.
Yeah, I think
a mini arcade machine. See, they're just identifying their handheld, the XP, the VS, and now the Evercade Alpha without specifically identifying them. Because the next question is a mini arcade machine for the home with no coins required.
Yes. I love how they had to put no coins required. Like, really?
The biggest collection of officially licensed retro games on cartridges. Okay, wait. Now, does that mean that you're fitting as many games you can on a cartridge, or you're just releasing as many cartridges as you can that are available?
Both.
Collectible, a curated wide range of classic games selected for their influential creativity and legendary design. Well, I guess I picked the middle option. Game cartridges playable across all Evercade devices. Well, that's pretty important. That was really bothering me. Like the whole time, the Namco ones just weren't playable on the VS. But now that they are, this shouldn't be an issue anymore for anything going forward. Instant play, no download instructions or patches or microtransactions. Okay. Well, again, we're getting patches and installations.
True.
Excellent emulation plays the games as they were intended by their original designers. Now, my definition of this means it's impossible for anyone to do because especially arcade games, they never expected anybody to be playing these at home. They expected to be played in an arcade.
Yeah, I thought that was
Yeah.
On machines with the controller on the control panel, not with like a gamepad or anything, you know.
Right.
Operation Wolf,
Especially, and a lot of these games were originally played on CRT monitors or vector monitors, even going back then. And you're not going to get the same thing on an HD TV. It's going to be different, no matter how you look at it. I'll say middle option. Beautifully designed manuals that provide interesting information about the game. I'll say I like that. I'm going to go with the second to the top option. The excitement and anticipation of waiting for the latest Evercade cartridge to be released. I'm going to say that's the lowest option. That's not important at all.
For me, that was like, dude, that's like everything.
Multiple gaming grates packed onto each cartridge. Okay, that may be important. An active and like-minded retro gaming community. Yeah. Being reminded of games I hadn't thought about in years but loved or wanted to play at the time. I'll put the middle option on that one. A wide-ranging selection of retro games constantly expanded to bring you more. Releasing new retro-inspired games from independent developers. Same thing.
I put that.
Enjoying retro games on the go at home or arcade style. What?
That's a weird.
What?
Yeah.
That's like everything. That's like everything rolled up into one question.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Okay, well, yeah, I guess it's very important that you enjoy what you're playing.
Right?
If you own at least one Evercade/Evercade compatible console, please tell us what made you want to buy it in the first place. Physical gaming cartridges, price point, ease of use, emulation quality, media or influencer review, game library. It was a gift. Discovery of new indie games, discovery of lesser known indie games. It was on sale at the time. Replaying your favorite retro games, social media or community recommendations, word of mouth recommendations, or other, because it was cheaper than I thought it was.
Yeah, I picked physical media and price, even though that may have not been, but I want to like.
Because I didn't buy it when it was on sale. It was just cheaper than I thought it was. How many Evercade game cartridges do you own? I don't own an Evercade. 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 15, 20 plus, all of them. Oh, I select all of them.
Yeah.
If you've heard of Evercade and do not own an Evercade/Evercade compatible device, is there a particular reason? Is there a particular reason?
Yeah, the lack of advertising.
An
option?
No. Please share any feedback you have on the Evercade range. Your answer. Okay. And then it's just fill in the blank here thing. If you have an Evercade, how likely are you to recommend an Evercade console to someone? Or if you don't have one, how likely are you to buy one? Oh, that's an option from 0 to 10.
I think I put
but
8.
for the share any feedback you have on the Evercade range, I'd say more games.
Some of this, if like at least
that
like
are familiar to North America.
And actually, so when they said recommend, and there's actually one reason I could have gone lower because like I wouldn't want to recommend Evercade to somebody and be like, okay, great, but I can't buy shit for it. You know what I mean? That's we got pulled. I wanted to pick 10 for that. I'm like, no, for me to recommend, they need to get
64 games from Electronic Arts.
Yeah.
Or Accolade. Okay, now I submit. because that's the end of the poll.
Nice.
Wow. Yeah.
We did it.
He survived. Yeah.
I could have
guess
swore
it's-
I saw that. I could have swore I clicked on it. Maybe I clicked on it and I did it on my phone or something like that, and it didn't take me to the. I or saw how long it was or something, and I just didn't do it, and I forgot about it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least I guess now they're making an effort to kind of see. But here's the thing, though. And this is another thing that kind of bothers me in Blaze. Isn't that kind of irrelevant when supposedly they already have the next 1 or 2 years of carts and all that stuff licensed? They're gonna, you know what I mean? Like they're still gonna.
Well,
do what they're gonna
this poll will dictate what happens
It
3
doesn't-
years from now.
It doesn't dictate it, but when them saying things like that doesn't dictate that Blaze is rigid in the fact that they have those deals done. They just have the deals done. So what they're saying when they say something like that, in my opinion, is they're around for another year or two at least because there's already deals inked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like they can't do anything in between.
No, but
So-
they kind of, but their inflexibility has kind of shown us that they won't, though.
I mean, but we don't know whether or not that is inflexibility or just not. Like maybe they're not allowed. You know what I mean?
I'm pretty sure that they're
Yeah.
trying to make as many sales as possible.
Well, yes,
But
exactly.
if they're not doing something, even though it's pretty obvious that doing it would create a lot of sales, it's probably because they're not able to, or they're working through a lot of deals or red tape or whatever,
Right. Yep.
Could be that. I just think they've just gotten too comfortable. Like, listen, I know that like the computer cards are easy licenses, but they scored with like the Duke Nukem, and I was like, okay, do more of that. Start finding other. You know what I mean? Start finding other developers.
Well, maybe they are doing that, but it takes time to do the work in order to do that. We don't know when that Duke deal was signed. It could have been signed.
Yeah,
in
exactly, because they were not that was a work in progress at the time. So when that deal was made, like how much longer did it take to actually finish and create those games that they actually eventually released?
So
Yeah, I don't think like Full Void, right? Like, come on, like something like that, And actually, it's kind of disappointing. Like, I would have liked to hear we're getting their next game.
We are getting something like that. I mean, the Roguecraft, what is it? I can't remember. Like DX, was it?
Yeah.
That seems to be like in the similar vein of Full Void, and what you're talking about, because it's supposed to be like a special Evercade edition of that game,
Right.
And it actually seems a lot like more interesting to me and a lot more replayable to me than Full Void was.
Is it a special edition for the Evercade, or is it?
Yes, it was. They're making changes specifically for the Evercade. Now it may be something like what they did with Glover, where they added Katie to the game. But there's something like I've never played Roguecraft. I was listening to the Total. What podcast was it that they were talking about? Can't remember who was on the pod. I think it was like Sir Topham Hatt or something like that was on the podcast. And he was talking about Roguecraft and how it's his favorite game, and he's so glad it came to the Evercade. And he kept talking about how that was his like one game he wanted to see on the Evercade. So based on how he hyped up the game, is like it made me like want to look forward to that game even more.
Mm.
I even went down to Steam and added it to my wish list, even because it's not out on Steam yet. It's not out on Steam yet, but he kept talking about how like it was a special Evercade version. Now, what made it special, or I don't know, but
yeah. No, that one has me. My only two concerns with that, for one, is it going to be too short?
No, it's a roguelite, which should mean that it's infinitely replayable. It's going to be different every time you play it.
Well, or I mean, like the original one only had was it 5 or 10 levels? Like you could beat it I beat it in under an hour. And
are you talking about Rogue 64?
Yes, that's what this game is based upon. Was Rogue 64? Like it's an enhanced version of Rogue 64.
Well, I think Rogue 64 was based on Roguecraft. They just downsized it to run on the 64. It's not like they're building Roguecraft from Rogue 64. It's actually the opposite way around.
Yeah.
Total Evercade podcast.
Yeah.
I think no, it wasn't Total Evercade podcast. What the hell? I have to look at my podcast thing to figure out what it was.
Yeah, so that was my only concern. Is it just randomly generated levels, but there's no actual progression, and is it short? And oh wow,
Retro Titans. It was Retro Titans.
Oh, Retro Titans is cool. Yeah, I like that podcast too. Yeah.
I was gonna say thank you so much for the $5. I think what do I do? I gotta oh, okay. This will be a weird throwback. If I can remove that. This will be a weird throwback.
Retro Kill Dash 9.
Sigh.
You know, yeah.
I
I
would
was
Russian
like
Lane.
creepy. So I'm like, oh my god.
That was cool. Yeah.
But yeah, appreciate that. So yeah, that does have me really intrigued. And here's what I like that Blaze what I like that they did instead of just throwing out another C64 cart with a bunch of like random games that that I know I'm not gonna have interest in. At least they focused on less is more, and they focused on, hey, here's really one cool game, and I hope that's the case.
Like I said, I really wish they released like how many C64 collections, and yet most of those, like only the Epic games were the ones that I had played before. So like we're all the C64 games that I played when I was a kid. The ones that were from Electronic Arts and Accolade. And even Broderbund with Stealth would be such a good game to put on the Evercade. Yeah. That is such a great game, and that was on the Atari 8-bit as well. But it was like a stealth fighter game where you're kind of going towards this tower and you're trying to shoot down all your only goal is to make it to this tower. When you finally get close enough to the tower, you can shoot the tower down and it explodes, and then you move on to the next level. You do it again, except it's harder. I love that game.
But but I do think this was the right move. That's what I'm saying. Instead of putting out like, something that's even like niche for them people that like C64, like here, do I dare say, I think like they're putting out something like quality and maybe unique to the Evercade. I think that it'll have a wider audience that we can kind of enjoy and have more replayability. That's excellent. And so this might be like the sleeper cart. You know what I mean? Like I would love for that to happen.
You know what? There was a weird C64 game I remember playing called Basketball Sam and Ed, and basically you play. There was 2-player game, and you each played as a basketball. Okay, and you tried to jump into the hoop to score points, but you couldn't jump high enough on your own. You had to be able to bounce off the other player to be able to score. So it's basically you and the other player trying to jump onto each other to try and score a basket.
Pretty crazy.
Interesting.
I loved it. It was a really small game, and but it was so much fun to play.
That's very cool.
But I'm glad to see there's more talk. Although I do see that when you look like at Fun Stock, the Neo Geo cards keep like kind of getting like sold out. But they have plenty. But they do have plenty of, of that game. So.
Well, I would imagine that more people would be interested in the Neo Geo carts than most other carts,
right?
Just in general.
Yeah. Well, it's part of the reason they went after the license, right?
Well, yeah, and plus, I think a lot of people kept saying we're in Neo Geo games, so they kind of knew. Yeah. It just took them a while to be able to get to the point where they could release them.
That's right.
So we are getting close to the time. Lots of good stuff. Glad all four of us were able to kind of be here. Well, yeah, totally. Any big name will, and that's what I've also been saying. Any big name will sell more than the blue carts as well. We kind of balance that out, Gene. That's what I've been saying. Like, I'm hoping for this point out, Blaze just focuses on arcade. Because it's like, I think it's the one genre that's universally loved by like everybody who's into retro gaming. And if somebody doesn't,
what number is that?
But yeah. So what do you all have going on? Like next week or this weekend or?
I'm still trying to dig myself out of the hole that I've been in.
Well, you've been is it busy at work or?
Oh yeah, it's nuts because we're getting to the end of the year. Next week is graduation, and then Friday the major project starts, where we're ripping apart basically the entire second floor and just creating new rooms. So it's gonna be very, very, very actively busy. But I've been trying to get it through all the stuff. But Polymega stuff. Because new collections are dropping. In fact, there's actually a box coming probably later on this afternoon with collections 9 and 10. So we're going to do an unboxing on that. Then we actually got to play them, which is kind of cool. Then we actually also have to play some Evercade stuff. I did actually order something that will solve my tower problem. So I might do a little video about that, which is cool because I gave in and I tried to say like, well, what if I didn't have a 3D printer? Can I like solve this problem? And I found a solution, so that's pretty cool. Nice. And then if Atari could figure out a way to solve the VCS's store problem, I can buy games, which would be great. So,
oh no, you can't buy games?
The store's been down for like a week.
Oh wow,
it's kind of annoying, and I would really like it to not be broken, so I could buy more games and then play them. So that's it. That's where we're at there for us. So yeah, Ballistic, yeah.
Suckage.
Well, I actually managed to play Tomb Raider for a couple more days, but then Zacharia put out another new table, Clown Deluxe. So I'm not gonna have any. I usually record videos on Sunday, but I have no time on Sunday to play the game. So I squeezed in some time yesterday to play that. I still need to make a video on that. But next week, on Thursday, I think it is, Pinball FX is releasing those Tomb Raider tables. So
Nice.
I need to make at least 3 videos for that because there's 2 tables, one for each table and one for both tables.
Very
And
cool.
and I don't even know if the embargo for that is like on the day of release, but I don't even know if I'm gonna have a video ready by then.
Cool. And yeah, I'll be streaming tonight. I might be doing a Father's Day stream. I haven't decided yet. And then I'm sure next week will be like me complaining more about Evercade for video. I don't know. We'll have to we'll have to see. We'll have to see. But yeah, no, as always, want to thank everyone for watching us. And if you did happen to find this magically through the YouTube verse, consider subscribing to our channels and all that fun stuff, and so you can be like informed and you can see all those awesome things that all of us have talked about that we have going on. And great show, guys. We'll go ahead and end it here.
Sounds good. See ya.
All right.
Crow's not going to play something out.
I can't. Remember, this doesn't work.
Thanks, Crashline, Immortal Sojourn, Amber Cummings, Joe Whitlush, Alex Groot.